Hello, hello. We are live. This is Keith Kalfas, and I want to show you what audiobooks I'm currently listening to. Hope you're doing well, my friend. So, if you could get audible.com, you got to get this if you don't have Audible already. It's amazing. You can basically listen to any book that you want, and they cost you from free to $5. Some books are like $43, but these books have changed my life. And I'm going to go through and share with you. I'll put a link in the description below to audible.com. Through my link, you can get a free 30-day trial. But I'll go through them fast, and then I'll go through slow. I just started listening to Integral Transformation by Ken Wilber. It's insane. What's up, Tim? 7 Years to Seven Figures System by Michael Masterson. I haven't started that yet, but I've read his book on... I've read another one of his books before. It was amazing. How about I just scroll through them real quick, and then I'll come back through. Essentialism, that was amazing. Atomic Habits was amazing. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Soul Shifts, Barbara DeAngelis, her books are incredible. Letting Go by Dr. David R. Hawkins, I'm always talking about that. Eckhart Tolle, No BS. And if you don't like any book on audible.com, you can very easily just call them. I've got their number saved, and I call them once every quarter, and I return the books that I don't like, and they give me my credit back. And then I buy books I do like. Traction, that was an incredible book. See, there's some books in here that I haven't finished or listened to. I just can't hang with. Like, everybody loved this Extreme Ownership book. I'm sorry, that's an absolute. A lot of people have recommended it, and I just couldn't get into it at this point in my life. Something about it, or the way the book was read, I didn't like it. But it's a great book. It just wasn't for me at this time. 33 Strategies of War. Those types of books are by Robert Greene. Hey, what's up, Tim? These books, they go on and on. They're like 20 to 30-hour long books. There's something that you listen to while you're out working, and you have to really get into it. You can't just get rapid fire value out of it, but it's amazing. Perennial Seller by Ryan Holiday. It's a big eye opener for me. Grant Cardone, Secrets of Selling. I've learned a lot of stuff from Grant Cardone. I love how he doesn't have any shame around making money and making a lot of it. Clockwork by Mike Michalowicz. Read all of his books. He's the author of Profit First. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Oh, yeah. Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. I read that. I don't know, man. It was just a whole book of like telling stories and not enough grids and structures to me. But I mean, nonetheless, great book. There was some really good takeaways in there about being successful. Evolve Your Brain. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. That was insane. Amazing book. You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza. Those books really woke me up. Never Split the Difference. Jay Abraham, if you're watching this, 93 Referral Systems right here. Dude, that guy is amazing, amazing, amazing businessman and marketer. SEO for Business. Phenomenal. Breathing. So if you're going through some stuff in your life and you really need some higher consciousness and meditation that's practical, like with your body and your health and your wellness and the way you eat and the way Dr. Andrew Weil is, there's nobody like him, dude. His books are incredible. Difficult Conversations. Dr. Wayne Dyer here, Excuses Be Gone. His books are always incredible. If you are looking for somebody in your life who is like, not a father figure, but kind of like a wise grandfather that you wish you always had, that will just tell you all the most amazing positive things and teach you how to think like a truly mature and successful and spiritual person. I mean, Dr. Wayne Dyer's got that in the bag, dude. I mean, I recommend everybody listen to at least one of his books because it's uh it's just a beautiful way of thinking and a way of life. Principles by Ray Dalio, very popular book. I couldn't even get through the first chapter of it. It was just like felt like just dragging me through a muddy forest. I can't even explain it. And I don't know why. Like, I mean, Principles, Ray Dalio, one of the biggest billionaires in the world, and I don't know why I couldn't listen to it. It's probably because the timing was off. Same with 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Uh, Amazing book. There was great takeaways, but a lot of stuff in there was just like, just redundant, blah, 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 blah. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. I learned some good stuff in there. Donald Miller's a lot about branding. Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. Phenomenal book. Nothing bad to say about it. High Performance Habits by Brennan Burchard. If you know me, I love Brennan Burchard. I've got all the stuff. I invest thousands in his programs. I've read all of his books. I mean, I pay monthly to be part of his success group. And High Performance Habits had a lot of good. He really clarified what makes the highest performers and most successful people in the world successful. He clarifies it totally in this book. And even then, the book kind of went on and on about like it could have been condensed a little bit more. But I'm being critical. I mean, I'm not writing best-selling books yet. So, Deep Work by Cal Newport. Oh, that was an incredible book for me. Only because I needed it at the time. Deep Work, he talks about I mean, getting in deeper levels of consciousness so you can work and do. I mean, it's an incredible book. You know who recommended that to me? I was in an Uber in California on my way back to the airport. Dude told me about it. Phenomenal book, dude. That book will. Okay. Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. That was a good book. Andrew Weil's Guide Out on Health. Phenomenal. Becoming a Teacher of Presence. Amazing. The Surge by Mike Michalowicz. That wasn't as good as his other books, but it was pretty good. The Secret to Attracting Money by Joe Vitale. I've read all of Joe Vitale's books, and if there's a definition of anybody who literally got rich by telling people how to get rich, it's Joe Vitale. He literally made an entire career by just manifesting books and tapes and CDs talking about how to. And the crazy thing is, he's the real deal. Like, he's that dude who literally, that's his place on this planet, is to prove that you can become financially successful and abundant just by being in that quantum vibrational state. Okay, so next, Peak Performance. That was actually a good book. Success is for You, SEO growth. Anything by Kiyosaki here. Start Rich Dad, amazing. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. The whole book could have been 5 pages. But instead it went on and 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 on, and I ended up listening to the whole book. The overall theme of the book, of the 5-Second Rule, was good. It really does help motivate you on a granular level. So, it was worth it. How Did I Get Here by Barbara J. Angelis. That wasn't as good as her other books to me. It's a book about, when you lose, when you're in loss. The Choice for Love, that's one of the best books I ever read in my life. I mean, it's more of a chick flick book, I guess you could say, but still, At the point I was at in my life, I was really depressed in 2017. I listened to that book, dude. I was crying, bawling my eyes out on a landscaping job with headphones in, working, just sobbing. That was a book. It's a book that just heals you. Incredible. The Checklist Manifesto, Getting Things Done Right, Fathered by God. That was a good book. Window Cleaning Blueprint, my book. Yeah, dog. Window Cleaning Blueprint's a really good book, except for the beginning kind of drags on, and I regret that when I wrote the book. I tell stories and I start it with a story and I talk about how my reason for becoming successful where I'm at today. And I talk about my wife and meeting her, and I talk about the motivations behind that. I get totally into the tactics of writing, a whole book about how to start a window cleaning. But I mean, just the beginning is about me, but the whole other 90% of the book is completely about, the ins and outs of a window cleaning business for sure. Blue Ocean Strategy, phenomenal book. It's an absolute must read. You got to read the Blue Ocean Strategy. Some people read it every year. It's just a must read. It's a must read. But even that drags on a little bit. You Are the Universe by Deepak Chopra. Oh God, that book took forever to get through. It felt like I was plugged into like a matrix tube, and I was just like, I can't even explain it. Like I was just spinning off in like the cosmos for like 40 hours while working. I would never read that book again. You know how many people would just get so mad at me? Because it's really incredible what he's talking about. Like, basically, Deepak Chopra completely breaks down what his claims are, is that you are every particle of you is every particle of the universe. You are the universe, and when you can see it from that level, it totally frees you. I can't even get into it. I mean, it's quantum. I went and saw him live during the press of that book. I paid to go see him and get an autograph. The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Everybody grants and raves around that book about how amazing it is. And I don't know. It was just another book to me. It was good, though. It was good. I read it. What's up, Ian Bankston? Think and Grow Rich is a badass book. Unshakable by Tony Robbins. Wow, that was an incredible book. That will really enlighten you into how truly wealthy, successful people think, and if you want to become wealthy. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a. Uh, I don't know why. I only got into like 5, 6 chapters in the book. I didn't even like it at all. This is just me talking. Some people love it. I think I had already gotten past that in my life, but it gets you to the point where if you care about so much about everybody and everything else and what's going on and all this crap, like to the point where it's holding back your life and personal development, it really just it's like a razor edge razor that just starts cutting all that crap out of your life. It teaches you how to not give a crap about it in not a negative way, but in a positive way that's healthy and in a healthy type of selfishness. So it is a very good book for certain people. I'm really into copywriting. If you don't know what that is, it's copywriting is salesmanship in print and how to write professional sales letters and ads. And learning copywriting is probably the most profitable skill that you can learn when it comes to sales and marketing. Aside from talking and selling, face to face, but copywriting is a big deal, and I'm into that stuff. So, Made to Stick, that was pretty decent. Ink Spots, I didn't like that book at all. Actually, I need to return it. Just low level, basic stuff. Hooked, how to build habit forming products. It was a pretty interesting book. I should read that again, actually. Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. Phenomenal book. Man, I hate to admit that I like Grant Cardone because he's just like, he's this pompous guy who really promotes the spirit of mammon, which is the spirit of wealth and materialism, to the point where like that's what will make you happy, like is becoming rich, and it's a huge distraction. Like it's awesome, uh, but he fills his space perfect, and I love and respect Grant Cardone for the fact that he's helped me increase my closing rate in my very own landscaping business to where I make more money simply because of his books. And so he's awesome. Zero Limits by Joe Vitale, phenomenal book. It's an absolute must read. Power of Broke by Daymond John. It's a must read. Just talks about staying on the hustle. Even when you start making good money in your life and you become successful, keep hustling as if you are broke. Mastery by Robert Greene. This is like a 40-hour long book. It's not a must read, but it just, I can't even get into it. It takes you through all these historical stories of people, of masters, and it's an amazing book. But Taxes and Accounting for Small Businesses, it's a must read. Persuasion by Robert Cialdini and Influence, these two books, oh God, you got to read them if you want to be successful. They take you down to like, it's amazing. These two books, amazing. The Ask Method by Ryan Levesque. Ryan Levesque here has become famous in the internet marketing industry and beyond because he basically really clarifies that if you want to know anything, just ask. That might sound simple on a surface level, but it's not. You can get any information that you want by just asking customers and clients, anything. So, Stand and Deliver. I'm very much into public speaking, so I study a lot of that stuff and I invest money in um, training for that. Really, really good stuff, actually, if you want to do sales and speaking to people, even if you're not trying to be a professional public speaker. Steal the Show, Michael Port, another public speaking. I learned a lot about that. The Checklist Manifesto. This is almost a must read because man, that was an amazing book. It takes you right into the about success, but it starts the book out weirdly in the emergency room in the ER, and it talks about how they have all these checklists that literally save people's lives. So if you want to become successful, have checklists and systems around everything, so you're never ever relying on your human memory. Humans give humans checklists. So if you checklist everything, oh, you're noting the must reads, Ian. Thank you. Checklist Manifesto, phenomenal book. I listened to this while working. I was like, wow. So I'm going to be implementing a lot of this checklist manifesto stuff right now with our virtual assistants here at work. So, Influenced by Robert Cialdini. It's a must read. The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Um, I was told that's a must read book, and I did read it, and it was a really good book. Is it a must read? No, but it's definitely a good book. The Way of the Superior Man. If you're a man and you are concerned about being a more conscious man in your relationships, that's a must read. Launch by Jeff Walker. No, it's a book about launching products and internet marketing. Phenomenal book if you're into that stuff. Give Me the Money. That was actually pretty good. The Abundance Paradigm. That was a good book. Abundance by Peter Diamandis. This is a book that you should really read if you're like I do landscaping for a living, and if you were like on one line of consciousness and you're not aware of how incredibly abundantly thinking and successful some people are in this world, such as people like Peter Diamandis, like this book will take you into the mindset of people that are multi-hundred millionaires, like, and take you into their thinking of how they're thinking about changing the entire world and beyond for the rest of humanity. Like this is high level thinking type stuff that, and just by being exposed to it. Same with this one, Exponential Organizations by Peter By. These books You read in Bold by Peter Diamandis, they'll make you start thinking about like, oh my God, what is my greater calling in this world that I'm going to give back to humanity and beyond? How do I need to become a billionaire so I can create new technologies that are like the cure for cancer, so I can be part of things that clean up ocean water for children's children. Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. It's a must read. Crush It's an amazing book. Podcasts launch. Top Grading by Brad Smart. It's all about hiring employees and organizations. A lot of people say it's a must read. To me, it goes so in depth about hiring that it's just like grinding to read the whole book. So it's pretty good though. Permission Marketing. It's another book that gets you up to speed on how we ask people's permission to market them, to get their email address with their phone numbers. It's if you're into marketing, it's a good read. Okay, so Book the Business by Dan Kennedy. Uh, Writing winning business plans by Rich Dad Advisors. I think that everybody who has a small business should go on a binge and read all of Rich Dad's books. Period. E-Myth Mastery. That was a pretty decent book. Systematize, Automate, Delegate. There was a couple gold nuggets in that book, and then all the rest of it was just okay. But there was a couple. Dianetics by Ronel Hubbard. Here's the founder of Scientology. This is the book. This is the book that Grant Cardone and Tom Cruise and all these guys and Will Smith and all these um, Scientologists talk about. I don't know what Scientology is. I just know it's a religion that's all I know. So I bought the book. I read the entire book. Like it took me 4 or 5 days to read it, and it was an incredible book. Dianetics was an amazing book. It talks about micro traumas and how like the whole point of not I didn't say Scientology. How much for a book in the Audible? Yellow Jacket Landscaping. I don't know. They go from $5 to $45. So Audible works like this. You could pay like $12 a month and get a couple credits, which would be like worth a book or two. Or I got the upgraded plan. I pay $22 a month. I'll put a link below after this video. You can get like a free 30-day Audible subscription. But I subscribe $22 a month, and I think I get like 4 credits a month. So I use those up. One book is worth 1 credit, right? So you can get a $43 book for 1 credit. Or if it's so anything under $10 I buy with my credit card, and anything above $10 I just buy with a credit. Because I'm spending 50 to $60 a month on books for like the last 7 years. I don't even care, dude. It's amazing. But yeah, so Dianetics was insane, dude. It talks about like psychology and going through like these hypnotherapy sessions or whatever, where the whole point of it is to get rid of all the little tiny traumas, major traumas and micro traumas, all the way back to when you were in the womb before you were born. And if you can get rid of all those, you can literally become an limitless person. Like think of how Tom Cruise and Will Smith and these people are like limitless. Like that's what Scientology is. It's about becoming the. Okay, I'm gonna shut up off that. The One Thing by Gary Keller. So many people rant and rave about this book. Gary Keller is like the founder of I think Keller Williams real estate agencies, and The One Thing is the book that all these people were. Oh, bro, have you read The One Thing? The One Thing, dude, you gotta read that book. What? And then they'll start like citing it, like, but what is the one thing that you could do right now that would change it? Dude, I read The One Thing, and it was like, I don't know. I was pissed off. I was actually angry reading this book. This freedom of speech. I can say what I want because the whole time I was listening, I was waiting for some type of massive epiphany of like, because people went shut up about how great it was, and to me, it was just like the book. Maybe it's the way my brain perceives information, but it didn't. There, I didn't get a single golden nugget out of this entire book. Because I don't know why, but the way my brain fires, somebody could scream the answer at me and it's like doesn't make any sense. It has to be delivered in a specific way. So the book was very right brain. It was very logical. It just, I don't know, it just pissed me off. I didn't get anything out of it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to it. Yellow Jacket Landscaping. You're welcome, sir. Okay, so transmuting. Oh yeah, making money with affiliate marketing. I don't know. I already knew all that stuff. You want to make money with affiliate marketing? Um, what I thought affiliate marketing was, in each next year I do it, I make more and more and more and more money with. Like I told you, click the Audible link below this video. Right? I could probably get like $5 if you sign up with Audible. If 100 people signed up in a month, I could make like $500. Right? That's the beginning of affiliate marketing. You don't get the higher levels of affiliate marketing in these books. It's all like low level stuff. You got to pay like $1,000 and get private coaching, or you have to buy a high level course if you want to really learn how to make money in affiliate marketing. Okay, Transmuting Suffering into Peace. Amazing book. If you're going through suffering, must read. All Marketers Are Liars. I think all Seth Godin's books are must reads. Tribes. Yeah, that was good. The Attractor Factor. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. That was an incredible book. So was The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. I think you should download both these books by Darren Hardy and listen to them both. Compound Effect and The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. They'll just take you on a ride and teach you about being an entrepreneur and in a very realistic and fun way. You'll learn a lot from those books. They just give you a bigger, higher level perspective about being an entrepreneur. Awaken the power of your supernatural self. I don't know. That wasn't that good. Wishes Fulfilled by Wayne Dyer. That was a phenomenal book. I listened to that twice. I actually went there and I met Wayne Dyer in person when I bought the book. I got to shake his hand. The book was autographed, and it's awesome. The Closer's Survival Guide by Grant Cardone. You got to listen to that book, dude. That book will put money in your pocket, hands down. I can't believe you can literally buy like a $15 book and it'll make you an extra 15,000 that year, and then an extra 150,000 over the next 5 years off of a book. Leap First, The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. That is a really good book, Five Love Languages. If you're married or committed relationship, you got to listen to it. But it doesn't work if only you listen to it. Because you could become this phenomenal lover, and then your spouse is still a turd monkey. Life's Golden Ticket by Brendon Burchard. That's a book you should only listen to once. I don't recommend you need to listen to it, but it's a long book. It goes on. It really drags on. But if you can get into it, it's a beautiful book. It'll have you laughing and crying. It'll take you on a whole ride of personal development. Brendon Burchard's one of my favorite authors, anyways. I tried to play that on our way up north on a vacation with my wife, and she couldn't even get into it. So it is a book you got to really get into if you're at that point in your life. The Midas Touch by Kiyosaki and Trump. You know, that wasn't one of their best books, but Trump does come in and he says some stuff that I can't even believe he says, dude. He is not afraid to say whatever's on his mind. And he comes in that book and he said some stuff that was actually very enlightening as being a entrepreneur and a business owner that I had never even considered. He talks about certain gray areas, and basically as long as the checks are cashing, he's cool. Not that he did anything wrong. All right, I'll tell you real quick. He said that he had a hotel because he's, a billionaire, and he had a hotel manager working for him, And he knew that the hotel manager knew that he knew that the hotel manager was actually ripping him off to the tune of like over 50 grand a year. Somehow, little ways he was finding ways to just pocket money on him. And Trump never said a word. You know why? Because Trump was making millions. And he said, hey, if that manager was ripping me off and that's how he felt he got his bonus or how he got compensated, I just let it happen because he was the best damn hotel manager I ever had. And you know what? I was getting rich off it. So, as regards to being like a, I don't know, he just, and then Kiyosaki is phenomenal. Toilet Paper Entrepreneur, Mike Michalowicz, must read. Pumpkin Plan, Mike Michalowicz, must read. The Top 2%, bleh, it wasn't even that good. System Busters, all about creating systems, bleh, wasn't that good. Piranha Marketing, amazing book. No More Mr. Nice Guy. If you're going through a lot of hard times in your relationships and you're a pushover and you're a doormat, you got to read that. Only if you're a doormat, though. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Money, Master the Game, absolute must read. It's a very hard book to get through, dude. It's a very complex book. It's high level shit, dude. 33 Ways to Raise Your Credit Score. You got to read that book. It'll cost you $10 and you'll read it in an hour and it'll just enlighten you. I got my credit score from like, my credit score is horrible. It was like a 512. I had poor credit, and now my credit score is a 749, and I have almost perfect credit. I say almost perfect because I have a few things. I have revolving credit, but I have great credit now, mostly because of this book. 10X Rule, must read. Grant Cardone, Pay Fewer Taxes Legally. That wasn't as good as it's the title sounds, but it's definitely a good book. The Highest Level of Enlightenment, to me, it's a must read. I can keep going on. I'm not going to go on and on. Play It Away. Oh my God. I forgot about that book. I think it was like 2015 or 2016. And I was just really stressed out and I was overworked and I was in a very dark place. And that book got me through it. If you're overworked and in a dark place, did I listen to all the books? Oh, yeah. I've read over 450 books now on audible.com and well, through reading and everything. 450. The Obstacle is the Way. Ryan Holiday writes some really good, insightful books. I've read a few of his books. So Play It Away. I mean, here's what Play It Away is about. So if you're stressed out of your mind and you've worked yourself to the point where you're just like, you're drudging through the day every day and nothing is changing and you're so bored that you're now in depression, this book will literally teach you to let go and have fun at work again. It'll teach you to look at life and look at your work as a game, and it'll have you literally turning your job sites into a playground where you're joking around and like it turns everything into play. It's an amazing perspective that you would never think of. That it's a beautiful book. If so, that's a good book. Okay, Obstacles Away, Virtual Freedom, that was okay. Predictor Irrational, okay. Profit First, must read. This book has got me now. I have like 13 bank accounts. It's got all my finances organized. Phenomenal. Platform, their tax-free wealth. You got to read that. Coactive Coaching. I do coaching every Monday. This book helped me a lot, teaching me how to become a coach. KeithKelfis.com/call if you want to talk to me. See, it got me into coaching. Sell or Be Sold, a pretty damn good book. The Millionaire Mind. Debt Cures they don't want you to know about. You got to read that. It's amazing. Third Circle Theory. Wah, wah, wah. It's like one of those books that when you read about it, you're like, oh my God, this is going to change and upgrade my consciousness forever. And then you read the book and you're like, E-Myth for Landscape Contractors. Wah, wah, wah. That was a book written to try to sell a book to landscape contractors by somebody who's not even a flipping landscape contractor. I was so disappointed with that book. It was a lot of fluff, dude. I mean, the E-Myth is great. Basically, Michael Gerber, the founder of the E-Myth, which is a great book, he went and he teamed up with electricians and contractors and painters and this and that and plumbers, and he wrote a different book for every single different field line of work. But he just rewrote the book and relabeled it that, and then interviewed professionals in those fields so he could sell more books. I'll call it how I see it, which is genius on his part. He probably made millions. SEO for bloggers, phenomenal. Shark Tank, Master Key System was okay. The Wolf of Wall Street. Oh my God, I read this in like 2013. 20 hours long. The book was so much better than the movie. That book was like, I read it while I was out plowing snow for like weeks on end during snowstorms, so I don't regret it. It was a really fun book to read. It was really insightful. But as far as it making you a better person or more successful, nah. Must read Richest Man in Babylon. Real Book of Real Estate. It's pretty good, but not a must. Future Spirituality. I'm into that stuff. I just uploaded a new video on my YouTube channel. Keith Kelfis talking about crazy shit like this. And For Men Only. It was dumb. Power of Vulnerability. That book changed my life by Brene Brown. God, that's an amazing book. Power Habit. This is another book here. Power Habit went on and on and on for 11 hours. And I just didn't get the message. They could have wrote that whole book in like 2 chapters. This is just my opinion. You might love the book. Many Lives, Many Masters. We read that also in 2013 or 14, my wife and I. It's about past lives and regressive hypnotherapy. And like this lady was talking in all these different languages from different times. And this psychotherapist who was total like right brain, but he was documenting all this and proved that all these different lives exist because this lady would go under hypnosis and start talking in different languages and shit. And in the book, my wife was like freaking out. I am not even getting into it. It's a crazy book, but it's a very enlightening book as well. Don't read that book unless you want to freak out. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That's a super fun book to read. You should definitely read that by T. Harv Eker. That's a fun book to read. It makes it just fun about being successful. Will it help you? Yeah. Every little book is a little piece of the puzzle. Okay, now we get into some good stuff. The Referral Engine by John Jantsch. All of John Jantz's books are must reads if you are trying to get your business off the ground. God, I want to meet John Jantsch one day and shake his hand and give him $100 gift card to Starbucks. He's a really, really insightful person. Purple Cow, Seth Godin, gotta read it. The Dip, Seth Godin, amazing book. I talk about that all the time in my videos. Millionaire Messenger is pretty good. 3 Feet from Gold here's a book that everybody loves so much, 3 Feet from Gold. And it's a bestseller, and I just didn't like it. It was just a boring book to me. 48 Laws of Power. This is an amazing book. This is one of the most powerful books ever written, ever. It's 10 hours long, and you just have to be at a certain place in your life and have the time to listen to it, to get through it, and really get into it. The deeper you can allow yourself to get into this book is the more benefit you'll derive from it. If you can allow yourself to get deep into the 48 Laws of Power, it will teach you lessons about people and business and life and success and manipulation and power that will go on and on and on for the rest of your life. You will draw lessons from this. I've listened to it twice. You will draw lessons from this book that will empower you to not let people walk on you and to see through manipulation. It's a dark book too. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Ian. 48 Laws of Power is an incredible book. Sorry, my wife tried to pick up the little dog and she's being a brat. Okay, so the Gerson therapy.
Okay.
If you know anybody who is sick, and
Okay.
it's a deep book. It's a book about health and nutrition, how they've cured all these people from cancer through juicing and green vegetables, stuff like that. The beginner side. Well, why do you keep trying to pick her up? Is it like a game to you?
No, it's like dinner time.
She wants to be by daddy.
But Miko's gonna eat her food and then she.
Oh, that's why.
Come here, baby.
Go on, Gracie. Go.
Come on.
She doesn't want. Okay, I'm live right now on YouTube. So, The Beginner's Guide to Healthy Eating. Oh, amazing book by Andrew Weil. You have to listen to it if you want to go on a health. Just by listening to that book, it will transform your health and get you into eating healthy. A beautiful book. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Honey, will you turn on the light? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Come on, let's go.
I laid in bed with my wife and listened to that for a few nights, and it improved the quality of our marriage. Power versus Force by David R. Hawkins. You must listen to that book. It's incredible. Millionaire Next Door basically talks about how America's wealthy are like your next door neighbors who you don't think are wealthy. And they're not flashy people driving around in BMWs and Mercedes blowing all their money. And 80% of America's millionaires are self-made. 4 Hour Body, that was decent. Actually, there's something about sex in there that's really enlightening about being better in bed. Yeah, but you can only see my face. Eckhart Tolle audio collection. Never Eat Alone. It was all right. Duct Tape Marketing, must read. Outliers, pretty good, but not a must read. The Answer. Wow. I read that years ago in like 2012. It's a pretty good book. I subscribe to John Assaraf, the author of The Answer here, and I bought his Winning the Game of Fear is a course. It's an entire like course, and Winning the Game of Money and Having It All. These courses are like entire deep dive courses that take you weeks and weeks to get through. And I got them on my tablet, and I go to bed at night listening to his hypnotherapy audio sessions, and I get deep into these courses where I learn from like these psychotherapists and hypnotic doctors talking about letting go and like of pathologies in the brain and doing these meditational practices to let go of fear. If you have fear, trauma, anxiety, and deep levels of suffering and emotional like breakdown in your life that's holding you back from being successful, hit me up in the comments below and I'll send you a link to Winning the Game of Fear. I'm telling you, I promise, I testify that my life was a horrible, miserable life up until the last couple years. I was in constant fear and trembling and anxiety, and it was like this winning the game of fear. I love Jesus. I love the Lord. I love going to church. But on a practical neuroscience level, winning the game of fear really helped my entire life. I want to meet John Assaraf one day and shake his hand because there's science that can help you get through. So, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. It's a must read. One of the best books I ever read in my life. I read it like 3 times, and it'll help you just really equip you for success and outwitting the devil who will come after you about being successful. This is only some of the books I've listened to here. Oh, Ian, you want the link to the John Assaraf program, Winning the Game of Fear? I'll go a little bit deeper into this. Tell me yes in the comments. Is this what you're talking about? Okay, Ian. I grew up, I'm not going to talk about me the whole time, but I grew up broke. My mom died of a heroin overdose. I've lived in 34 different homes and food stamps. We slept in homeless shelters. So I had a lot of trauma inside of me to the point where it was making me so sick that I went through a lot of depression, times I couldn't get out of bed. Uh, and I was always afraid I was going to die. I was afraid I was going to develop a disease. And I mean, my life was really so hard that I was holding down probably my own wife, and I try to hide a lot of that shit from her. But when you're low, energy is low. It brings people down around you, and I couldn't get out, dude. I was like and nothing was helping me until I got winning the game of fear and went deep down into my subconscious. And night after night after night, I did these hypnotherapy sessions that go through into your subconscious mind and help massage those pathologies and unlock that stuff. I talk about that in my other videos here in I Am Ability. And this is the master key system that helps unlock people from being. And when you're going through this shit, nobody fucking understands you, what you're going through. They just think you're being negative. You're not. Yes, you are being negative because your very being is negative and you don't know how to fucking stop it and how to get out of it, right? Okay, so I'll put links below to winning the game of fear. I'm gonna end this video right now and give me like 5-10 minutes and I'll put the links below and in the comments. All right. Many blessings to you and thanks for spending this time with me. I'm gonna go eat dinner with my wife.